welcome to the dressing room. This is actually the very first of a new series I have called The Dressing Room here on my channel. And what this series is kind of a culmination of several different projects. I have a variety of companies that I have sponsoring me on my blog that I truly appreciate what they're doing, and so therefore I've decided to start this series to kind of alert you to some of the vintage or retro reproduction or vintage inspired clothing options that you might have available to you online, other than ones that maybe are more popular. Today I wanted to go ahead and do the very first video in this series for a company that I have mentioned in the past, but I have rediscovered, and it's called La Bomb Shop. They are basically available on eBay, and I've purchased from them in the past, and I had some fit issues. So I wanted to go ahead and review a couple of the pieces that I have received from them. Both of these dresses are under $50, and that's one of the things that alerted me to the website, because dressing in vintage inspired clothing, if you're not just using tailored pieces and then dressing them up to look vintage just through accessories and hairstyling, a lot of retro reproduction clothing companies are out there with wonderful, great quality clothes, but are very pricey. So this is a less pricey option for you if you want vintage inspired clothing, but you don't want to go with something that's just basic and tailored. Not to say that there's not tailoring involved. This dress that I purchased is one of my favorite colors in the history of the world. It's a peacock blue dress, and you can probably see it here in the mirror. Now, because of the nature of my camera, I am not in a position to actually show you full-length items as much as I would like to. Hopefully that will change over the course of time. This is actually a built-in bolero-style shrug, so you can't see it in the back. I'm going to turn around so you can see in the mirror. You see how it's flat here? You can't really see it in the back, but it's got this really great detail that I feel like is really important, and for less than $50 you don't really expect to be able to get this type of detail. It also has gathered sleeves, which I think is very decidedly retro, and it's got this great sash here. Now the fabric is not the most, it's not the best quality fabric. It's kind of a thin polished cotton. It's buttoned up the front, which is the reason that I purchased this dress, because I can breastfeed in it. As most of you know, I have a baby. And so I liked that about it. The fit is actually quite good. I am wearing a waist cincher, but I don't really feel like there's any puckering. It seems relatively smooth. I'm going to show you the back. You see how it's relatively smooth in the back. And now I'm going to step back just a bit so you can see the length. It goes right at the knee. Now, the one thing that you may have already noticed is that it pulls here. The fact is the measurements on this dress were correct. However, because the measurements are correct for my non-breastfeeding self, I went ahead and purchased the dress knowing that if it fit in the waist and the hips, that in the chest I could make it work until I was done feeding the baby. So you can see it puckers here. Whoops, you probably can't see that. I thought you could. Hold on. Okay, you can see it puckers here, and that's not, the best. So what I've decided is I got a lace-topped camisole. It's like at Walmart or something like that. I have a vintage one also that I like to wear, and so I just leave the top unbuttoned. And it's not as, the overall aesthetic is not perfect that way. It does kind of gape after you wear it for a while. But it definitely allows me to continue to wear the dress until my chest is back down to its normal size. So that is this dress, and I love it, and I'm going to show you one more. The next dress that I wanted to show you is this one, which I absolutely loved in theory. However, there are a few things about it that I'm not exactly sold on. There are a few issues here at the waistline. I don't feel like it makes me look the thinnest, because it's not truly hitting at the thinnest part of me. It's hitting right above where my ribs start. So it's not exactly the most flattering of dresses. But what it is ideal for pool parties. It's ideal for, just general summer beachiness. It's excellent for maybe a car show, something like that, because it's extremely light. It's also a very thin cotton. It's very light. I do feel that this halter is very, very flattering. And the back is a, let me see where I can turn so that you can see the back. The back is smocking. It is gathered. Now it's just a little bit large because it could probably be taken in a bit. Back here in the back you can see just a little teaspoon of skin right here, which I think is tasteful and you know, still kind of fun and free. And it has, the hem is on a diagonal. You see how it meets in the middle? I think that it's cut in a very flattering way. The only thing that I'm not sold on, of course, being that, and I'm not even sure if I'm wrapping it correctly because the tie in the back is not the same length on both sides. So we will have to do some working with this one, but I definitely would wear it. And I do think that especially the top part of it is flattering while still being modest. I like a halter neck that has just this almost Asian V, which doesn't really, it's not modest, but it's also gives you that same, you know, it still shows off the shoulders and gives you that really, really nice flattering line. I hope that you can see it well enough. And like I said, I'm going to try to improve the quality of these videos. I like the idea of you being able to see the front of the dress in detail and then also the side in the mirror, and for me to be able to turn and show you in the mirror. So hopefully we can kind of work with this. So hopefully this video was okay for the first video and I enjoyed it. I hope to do more like this, and y'all have a good day. Bye.